Foresight Wrestling Podcast on the one and only 411 Podcast Network.
Let's get ready to podcast. What's up?
Hey, here we are.
We're back.
We're alive and well.
We are back in the lab. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
It's been a minute or two.
It's been a crazy couple of months, I think.
I think it has been. I think it's like 5 degrees out, and there's a blizzard of like 50 feet of snow outside.
Well, no, right now, I mean, the 50 feet, yeah. But right now, it's only like 30. So, I mean, it's not horrible out to be outside. It's just... You don't want to look at everything that's around because...
No, we never do.
There's no grass, there's no leaves, there's no
life.
It's
over.
Dead.
It's dark by 4 o'clock, and you wake up, and it's dark, and then it's like, oh, the day is over.
I mean...
And now we're in 2020.
2020.
Yeah, it's a lot of
perfectly
foresight,
clear vision.
A lot of hindsight. All right, well, we're here to talk about the Royal Rumble, right?
I guess we are. I mean that's
we have
coming
to be.
up. It's coming up at some point, ain't it?
It is currently, Thursday afternoon?
It is Thursday afternoon.
Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, something like that. So 3 days away.
3 days.
You had mentioned, before we get to our 10 topics here, you had mentioned you're not necessarily feeling it this year?
You know, every year I look forward to the Royal Rumble the most. Like, WrestleMania is awesome, but it all starts at the Royal Rumble. And it all starts at the Royal Rumble match, as we can say now.
Yes.
Because it's awesome.
Yes.
So as we were talking off air, it's the surprises, the mysteries, the returns, the
hype,
cameos,
the build,
even like one of my favorite Royal Rumbles was the Three Faces of Foley. We all knew Foley wasn't going to win it, but it was awesome to see him come out 3 times, and he made it interesting each time. You know, like it wasn't repetitive or anything. So, but this year with, Brock being number 1 and
all right.
Heyman gave his spoiler, it's like,
all right,
we already know what's going to happen. So,
all right, well, that is a good segue because, yes, I have like 10 burning questions here, 10 whatever you want to call them, whatever stupid name you can come up with. We got 10 here, and number 1 I have written down. Brock at number 1.
Yeah.
Fittingly.
I mean, it's a cool idea, and I kind of dig it. The idea of it that put the if the champion has exhausted the roster, which, I mean, you look at character building from a purely character standpoint, he's kind of run roughshod over the biggest players.
Yes.
So at this point, what's left for him? Might as well do the Rumble and go in at first. I think it's a cool idea. It's just I've never been a fan of Lesnar like somebody else.
Yeah, somebody else.
But, I've given up hating on the guy. Because just because I don't like him doesn't mean that everybody else doesn't like him. So for whatever reason that escapes me, he's a money draw.
Yeah.
And you can't turn down money. You're a business. That's the whole point.
I'm not turning down money.
even if Vince absolutely loathed Brock Lesnar, if the dude was bringing him in millions, he's going to put him on every show. Guaranteed. Regardless of your personal feelings.
Yeah, I was thinking when Brock was... announced to return the first Raw 2020 or last 19. Yeah. I don't even know when he came back. I was thinking, who's he gonna, who's up next? Who
are they gonna bring
I couldn't
in?
think of anyone. I was coming up with, Ricochet, Aleister Black. I thought the stud, Drew McIntyre. I was thinking all these different. What
is it with the stud? Do you have?
I was thinking a random. I was even thinking Rusev maybe after this Lashley debacle or the big long-awaited Lashley Lesnar showdown. I know it's heel, but whatever.
I mean,
and nobody would really come to mind.
Yeah.
No, not Lashley. You want to see?
No, I mean the heel thing that doesn't matter. You can turn that. You can turn that on a drop of a dime. There's, how they could turn Lashley face so fast,
dumping Lana,
and telling her to get out.
Well, didn't he tell her to shut up one time?
Yeah.
And then the crowd was like, oh, here we go.
I mean, if they wanted to turn Lashley face, they could do it on a dime.
Oh, I'm sure they could. And I don't think they've ever faced.
That would make them so much money.
It would. In that dream match with Lesnar, I believe it would be a first-time ever matchup. I think it would be very big. But I couldn't think of anyone to face at the Rumble because, Brock would retain. So it's like, do you really want to, I guess, sacrifice somebody?
What big player do you want to
Mysterio again. I couldn't really think of anybody. So the title idea is weird. I mean, 92, obviously the title was on the line when Flair won it. People remember 2016, it was Reigns.
When Flair won it, it was vacant.
He was vacant because of the Tuesday night
in Texas.
Hogan Taker crap.
Flair interfered in Undertaker and Hogan. They couldn't get a definitive winner. So President Jack Tunney gave us the Rumble idea, which I love. That I think that is actually probably very close to my favorite Rumble.
That is a lot of people's favorites. I'm partial to 2008 when Cena returned at the Madison Square Garden event.
Oh, yes. I watched that live.
You remember that one.
Oh, yeah. This is my ex-wife now, but she was my wife at the time.
Tangent.
She was sleeping next to me on the couch. I don't know if she was sick or it was one of our nights off or something like that. So I'm watching it on pay-per-view. I've got my championship belt over my shoulder. And Cena comes out, and I stood up, and I let out the most silent scream. Like, my mouth was gaped open. I was exhaling, but I made sure no sound came out, because if I would have woken that dragon up,
oh, boy,
I would have had my head ripped off. So
it would have been worth it, though.
Hence why she is an ex-wife.
Right. I caught that part. But 92 Rumble, and then 2016 when it was Roman Reigns 1 versus all.
Yeah.
He had to defend the title. Obviously, Triple H came out at number 30.
Number 30.
But in this case, it's non-title.
Are we sure?
I mean, we're pretty sure.
Have they come out and said that?
It's not been announced. I would assume Heyman would be going nuts about losing his title. So here's where it leads to my number 2 question.
Okay.
Who is this leading to face Brock Lesnar? I have a little bit of a bold prediction, but I'll get to this after you make your points. So a lot of people think Cain Velasquez, Tyson Fury, they're going to go back to that. I think they kind of exhausted that at Crown Jewel. That didn't really go too well. The fans weren't really behind Cain. I don't think that's going to happen again.
That, and from a backstage point, Cain's knee is screwed up.
Yeah, he's talked about that he'll be in the Rumble. I don't know what he's going to do. It feels almost to me he's kind of going to side with Ray again, kind of go back to that maybe, kind of start in the middle of the card, not necessarily back to Lesnar, who beat him in 30 seconds.
Right, and I think he kind of soured some grapes because he showed up and they were like, oh, we got this guy ready to go. And then as soon as he gets in, they're like, yeah, my knee is,
I'm going to be out a while.
Right. So it's like, oh, we gave him this big contract. We're going to get so much out of him. Yeah, my knee is destroyed. So,
yeah. And I know Tyson Fury has the fight in February.
He's got everything locked into that.
And his match with Braun, I thought was all right, but it wasn't like some natural ability where it's like, this guy's a natural. He's got a main event. He's got to do all these things. Tyson Fury, I mean, if he wants to do a few more things, I'm fine with it, but
I don't think I think so. Boxing, there's always millions and millions of dollars involved, which means that there's a little thing called insurance. And I think it's the same idea as The Rock back in the for WrestleMania or Rumble or something like that, where he wanted to come back and do like a spot, but they wouldn't let him get in any type of contact because the movie studio had insurance on The Rock. I would think that the fight promoters have insurance on Tyson Fury, and there's no way they're letting him get touched in the Rumble. No way.
Yeah, the Rock thing is interesting because, Mania's in Tampa, and, his appearance on Fox, and, The Rock's kind of in whatever.
It makes a lot of sense. He's still, for what, 10 straight years front and center in Hollywood entertainment?
I mean, Rock versus Brock Lesnar, couldn't really argue that too much. But here,
we're talking
they were planning that for WrestleMania 30, I believe.
Was it?
The night after WrestleMania 29, when he lost the title to Cena.
Yeah.
Brock was supposed to come out, and
that was a good year.
But then things got all, but it was all messed up. But anyways,
that whole WrestleMania 28 to 29, that was a great year.
Yeah,
Cena and Rock, they have that massive battle. Rock wins, and then they just promote the thing all year long.
I enjoyed it. I know some look back
great.
on it, and Rock Cena kind of gets the backlash and the hate and all that, but
because it was predictable.
I mean, two of the biggest stars.
It was predictable, and but they told the story very well.
The other thing, not to bring it up too much, again, another tangent, but I think still just some people feel the CM Punk got shafted on both those. And
he did.
The main event spot.
He did, but what you going to do? That's
Rock Cena was the story.
And
CM Punk was not involved.
That was the story, and that was, what they went with. So at this point, let's look at how they executed their plan as opposed to what they could have done.
Yeah, and 27 when he returned, 28 and 29, all three did over 1 million pay-per-view buy rates, and I believe one of them set the all-time record. I don't think so, though, because I think the Trump one in 2007, Hair vs. Hair, I'm pretty sure that one still holds the record. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So here's my bold prediction.
Bold prediction.
So I think we're both assuming whoever Lesnar has a showdown with is going to lead to Mania. Is that correct?
There's going to be
something.
There's going to be a couple of showdowns, but there's going to be one. There's going to be one that will stand out. Because here's my thing: is I think my prediction for the Rumble is that it's going to be just Brock 1-on-1 for maybe the first 5 or 6 guys. They're going to get into it, toss. Get into it, toss.
Like when Enzo came out and he literally just clotheslined.
Or when Austin, he was just throwing them out. Check the time.
Check the time.
I think we're going to have a repeat of that. And then there's going to be some showdowns. Then there's going to be some stare downs.
Yep, some big name's going to come out.
And then either big name or powerhouse or somebody that you'd always want to see face Brock Lesnar. But that's not going to be the one. It's going to be further down the match. There's going to be one stare down that will trump them all.
Or how about they test the crowd reactions and then decide which direction they're going? Almost kind of like that.
Maybe that's what
Luger
they're doing.
Brett with the tie, who gets the loudest reaction.
Right. That could be.
Something like that. I don't know. Just an idea.
I mean, I didn't even think about that. That'd be kind of interesting. You got the backstage guys with a little meter. And whoever comes out with the biggest pop, hey, guess what? That's your ticket. Usually stranger things have happened.
Usually with Brock and Heyman, though, their things are kind of set for.
I know, but think of, what was it? It was an injury or a concussion that put Kofi in the main event of WrestleMania.
Yes.
So why not an applause meter to put somebody else in the main event of WrestleMania?
That is true, but okay. My bold prediction.
All right, here we go. This is new to me. We didn't talk about this.
No, we talked about everything else except this. All right, you ready for this?
Secrecy.
All right. I'm not going to say it's going to...
But first... Sorry, go on.
But wait. I'm not going to say it's the number 2 entrant. But I could see Brock being eliminated right away. So
really?
I have a little bit of history here for this. I have a little bit of a precedent. So 2017, Alamo Dome.
Yep.
Everyone was teasing the big Brock-Goldberg showdown.
Right.
A lot of people thought Brock was going to win because it already leaked that it was going to be Goldberg versus Kevin Owens at Fastlane in March that we were at.
Yeah.
So everyone knew, okay, Brock's probably going to win the Rumble. Goldberg will win the title.
Right.
They have the rematch at Mania. Brock gets the title. Goldberg goes away.
Okay.
Obviously, it didn't exactly happen like that. But do you remember what happened with Lesnar in the Rumble? Okay. He came out, tossed a few bodies around,
right.
And then the clock started ticking down. Crowds chanting Goldberg. They know it's 27, 28, 29, whatever number they're on.
Yeah.
Fans are chanting, it's got to be Goldberg. They're going to have the big confrontation finally.
Yeah.
And then it was Enzo.
Yep.
And everyone kind of laughed. Enzo all fired up, did his little leg dance or whatever it's called, and ran right into a clothesline, and then Lesnar dumped him out. Next guy was Goldberg.
Yep.
And then do you remember what happened?
No.
Goldberg tossed Lesnar over.
That's right. He got eliminated.
I think it was a spear and then a clothesline, and that was it.
Yeah.
And Lesnar was out, just like that. 2016, we mentioned it with Reigns and his title being on the line.
Yep.
He had been in a feud with the Wyatt family. Obviously, that got switched to Dean Ambrose. But again, Lesnar didn't exactly do a whole heck of a lot in that Rumble.
Right.
And all of a sudden, the Wyatt family jumped him, and they leisurely just dumped him over the top rope.
See ya.
So, here is the one holdup of that little bold prediction, is you need a lot of showdowns with Lesnar. I think it's going to be cool. I think a lot of different guys, different brands are going to be coming out, and you want those face-to-face showdowns with Brock teasing something in the future.
Right.
And here's the other problem. We mentioned it before. Paul Heyman said the spoiler.
Yep. Now for the life of me, I swear that everybody's telling me wrong, that the TV says that's wrong and all that, but I swear he gave a spoiler at last year's WrestleMania to which he was wrong. I thought he gave the spoiler that Brock was going to beat Seth. But
hey, if you want to watch every Raw from then and find it,
I really don't. I don't have that much sanity.
No, I won't think so.
So I guess I'm just remembering things wrong.
I remember a lot where he'd start talking and then get cut off before he gave the line.
Maybe that was it. Maybe my brain filled it in.
And then I remember...
my brain's been doing weird things lately, man.
Well, anyways, I don't think it's going to be that early. I think I'm with you. He's going to toss a few, but I don't think he's going to win. He's not my pick. I don't think it's non-title. He's not going to win.
Wait, he's not your pick?
No, he's never been my pick. Right when it was announced, I was thinking who's going to eliminate him and face him at Mania. That was my first thought.
Are we in the Twilight Zone? Because I was going to pick Lesnar.
Well, hold on. We'll get to our picks.
I know, but this is crazy, man.
There's 29 other men out there, and he's that number one.
Not Brock Lesnar.
Well, there's 28 in one stud. But anyways,
God.
He's starting at number one.
Do you have an affinity for horses or something? Is that what it is?
Horses.
You keep calling him the stud.
All right. Well, anyways.
I don't get it.
I don't either. So anyways, the thing about it is Lesnar's not going to enter the Rumble.
Yeah.
As champion, and then the next night announce he's taking WrestleMania off because he has no challenger.
I mean,
that's Heyman's plan. is to keep the title on him, win the Rumble, free pass for 3 months. I mean, that's the plan, but it's not going to happen. I don't think so.
He gave a spoiler.
He gave the spoiler. If we're sitting here Sunday night and you're texting me Lesnar won, I'll be in complete shock. Speaking of complete...
I won't text you that Lesnar won because just in case you're not watching it live, I wouldn't spoil. I'll text you a bunch
I'll
of
be watching it live. I'll be
points.
jacked up. I'll be jacked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, you won't text me because you'll probably have your phone thrown out a window if Lesnar wins.
No, I'll be down here. I'll throw my computer out the window.
In the lab? All right. Well, this was leading to my little segue into number 3. I would also be shocked because every year there's rumor names.
Right.
Okay, Undertaker, Kane, obviously John Cena, Goldberg. There's all these different names every single year.
Right.
This year there's 2 names.
Well, Cena stopped short of saying he won't be there.
He'll be at Mania. But I don't know about the Rumble. But here are the 2 names. Edge and CM Punk.
Ooh.
So if you had to battle some odds,
Right.
who would, not saying that they'll show up, but who has the better chance of showing up? A guy retired 8 years or a guy back in the fold a little bit and openly was mocking or returning?
Right.
2 great choices.
I'd almost lean towards Edge just for the fact that we've seen him in physical actions.
Yes.
More recently.
Yes, that is
than
true.
The other.
That is true. He gave Elias Spirit SummerSlam.
I don't think they've paid CM Punk enough to make a physical return yet.
Is this a money thing?
Of course it is. It's
or is
always
it
a money
here's their
thing.
main event at WrestleMania thing
I don't think he wants it.
against Brock?
I don't think Punk. I think Punk is too soured on it. I just don't think that he's, unless you're, like you said, a big bag.
Very big bag.
I don't think WWE, because he's not an employee of, so I don't think that they're coming to his house with a big bag of money yet.
No,
and
but
I don't think that they're even down the road yet. I think that they're hearing the fan things and maybe kind of 2 writers are looking at each other going, you think?
should we try?
Should we bring this up to...
Yeah, I mean, Punk has their numbers and they have his number.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just a matter of, I think like you said, kind of playing the waiting game.
Right. And here's the thing. If it is going to happen, this was decided a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
This is all, and no, it's not going to happen, big bag of money, but that's all been scripted.
Oh, yeah.
This has all been scripted.
All right.
If that's the plan.
And on the flip side, Edge has now released 2 denials about a new contract, being spotted in Pittsburgh, where they do medicals,
Right.
and a new contract, and being backstage at recent shows.
Yeah.
He's denied it all. Twice.
I mean,
Does denial mean anything?
not in the wrestling business.
Not anymore.
I mean,
no, I don't think so either. The more people sometimes deny it,
the more it lends the truth. Just like we were talking off air, the more that I just dislike Brock and that I hope everybody else dislikes Brock, the more popular he seems to be, the more he shows up.
Yeah, and I mentioned this. Edge is denying things, which usually means it's true. But the thing with Punk is on Backstage Tuesday night, I don't watch unless Punk's on. So I watched when Punk was on. Well, actually, I recorded it, but I watched when Punk was on. And they brought it up. They faced it head on, but they did it in a joking, sarcastic manner.
Right.
They kept saying, "Oh, you're getting ready for the Rumble." And then when he came out, his music, they always bring out entrance music.
Yeah.
Then he goes, "Should I do it? Should I do it?" And then he does the "It's clobbering time" thing. And then I think Renee or someone says, "Oh, warming up for Sunday" or something. So they're purposely mentioning it, but they're saying it so much where they're almost like mocking people that think it's happened and then watch his music hit Sunday.
You know what it could be?
And then they're all having a laugh about it.
You know what it could be is that in this day and age of technology, social networking, information spreads like wildfire. They're putting out all sorts of possibilities to confuse and shade and, can't see the forest for the trees type thing. Here's all the ideas that could happen.
Yep.
But really, it's just going to be this.
Right. I mean, I tweeted it out, but Shannon Moore.
Yep. I saw that too.
I mean, they're just every name out there.
I thought Shannon Moore. I'm like, why? Does he even still wrestle? Like, is he still in the independence?
I want to say he's only like 30-something, or maybe I could be completely wrong. He feels old. He was in WCW.
I mean, I know. Yeah, I know he's a young guy, but he's definitely older than me.
He's got to be in his 40s.
At least he's right around Matt and Jeff.
Yeah, and that's another one. Is Jeff getting the help he needs? Is Jeff going to come out? There's all these names that you can throw out there. And like you said, there's probably only going to be like one or two of these guys showing up.
I know that Jeff, I read that he was just in court or like had to extend.
Oh,
like
court's in April, I think, is the day after Mania.
And they don't want to put him. Yeah, that's what it was. It was the day after Mania.
Very bad.
And they don't want to put him in the ring while he's under legal issues.
And that would make sense, but you never know sometimes. So you have Edge as the more likely, but still
out of the two. Yeah.
Out of the two, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know.
I
kind of look forward to hearing that Alter Bridge song again.
Oh, boy.
That's a good tune.
All right, I have 2 more points. Here's the thing with that. If either of them do come out, they have to win, right?
No.
Really?
How many times?
Those two versus Brock?
How many times
That's main
have
event.
big names? I mean, that would be cool.
But after 8 years or 9 years absence and Punk coming back, he's not going to come out and lose.
1992, Carlos Colon showed up at the big championship Rumble after having been away for however long.
Well, you enjoy your cologne. I'm going to talk about CM Punk and Edge.
Who was the dad of Primo and Epico and Carlito?
Right. 3 studs right there. So anyways, I'm going to talk to you about CM Punk and Edge, not your colon or your whatever. So
Hey now,
you're an all-star. So anyways,
it's a family show.
It's a family show. You're right. So anyways, if CM Punk or Edge come out, they have to win.
I mean, you'd like to think so.
It's in Houston, so Booker T comes out, he's not going to win.
Well, it's his hometown.
But right, he's not going to win. He's on the cruise right now, but he's not going to.
You don't win on your. Oh, really?
NWO is, Flair is. No big deal. I don't think it is. But anyways,
Are they on TV?
No, they're on the cruise. They're not.
Okay.
They're doing like a speaking autograph.
Oh, right,
meet
right.
and greet,
yeah,
whatever.
Gotcha.
But anyways, if he comes out,
oh man,
he's not
Flair
going
on a cruise ship. Oof.
Hey, apparently he's doing better.
That's what they say, and then he falls off the wagon again.
Or the boat. I don't know.
Exactly.
In my mind,
his wife's there, right?
Wife?
She has to be, otherwise we're not going to see Rick ever again.
Or we're going to have a different conversation next week. So anyways, so if Edge comes out, he's got to win. If Punk comes out, he's got to win. And the obvious opponent...
What if they both come out?
No, there's... I would be stunned if it came down to like those two or something.
Watch, the whole Rumble is just returns and surprises, not a single roster.
I believe there's 5 open spots for men's. I believe it's 5.
I just think that would be funny.
It would be funny. That's the
Mick Foley
gimmick battle royal, though, for Mania.
From that WrestleMania.
All right, speaking of 5 spots open, my number 4 topic. Give me a few NXT names.
Keith Lee.
Keith Lee?
I love Keith Lee.
CM Punk name dropped him.
Amazing.
Punk name dropped him.
I have actually, in the time that we've been not doing the podcast, I've actually been keeping up on NXT. And
good.
God, I love Keith Lee. That guy.
He got the Survivor Series moment.
I love the little things that they do for him, like where they're focusing on 2 guys' faces and then just he rises up like, like it's just huge. Or like how he's got the crowd in the palm of his hand when his music
Bask in his glory.
Bask in his glory.
I love the pounce into the crowd.
Yeah.
Just shoves the guy.
So yeah, I think Keith Lee definitely deserves to be there. There's
Snap.
Priest,
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest. Thank you.
He's another one.
I could see Killian Dane just because he's already been on the main roster and they kind of want to keep him.
Yeah,
and he's a big boy.
I could see that. I have
formidable in the Rumble.
I have 2 names. One is maybe a long shot. He's been out with an injury. His name is the Velveteen Dream.
Oh, that would be cool.
He's been out. No idea on his status. Whatever. But if his music hits, I would predict.
Was it Achilles tendon?
I have no clue.
I know. No, that's Xavier. I know that he had a pretty nasty injury, though.
Well, we'll hope for him anyways on Sunday. But I would predict, I know it's a weird term, but pop of the night. If his music hits, everyone would go nuts. My other name, and this one I actually do think will happen.
Yep.
And this is one I'm thinking almost with Brock Lesnar.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready for this?
No.
It's a guy since moving to USA Network, NXT's kind of shifted away from.
Tyler Breeze?
No. Almost, he ain't measuring up with Brock Lesnar. Almost as if they're preparing him for the inevitable call-up. As if it was going to happen. They're waiting for the right time. Almost a Shayna Baszler, where it's kind of like phasing him out a little bit. Kind of.
Right. Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
No.
You have no idea who I'm talking about?
Not a clue.
Matt Riddle.
Oh, yeah.
I think the bro is about to get Brock, if you ask me. But
I know he's been calling for it.
He's been calling for it.
He wants to retire Brock, I think.
Yes. I think Goldberg, too, he's been having his little...
Oh, yeah.
They had that little face-to-face...
At WrestleMania.
They had their little meet-up or SummerSlam or whatever that was. I don't even know. But either way, Matt Riddle, I don't think he'll be number 2, but I think whoever number 2 is going to be very interesting. If that music hit and Brock's standing in the ring, Heyman flip out ringside and start going nuts. But... anyways,
I think we're going to see a lot of Heyman flipping out ringside. That's probably going to be pretty cool.
The whole match is him
match.
Slamming the mat on the side. Brock.
The big wide-eyed, head-grasping walrus look. Oh, yeah.
I can picture it right now.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so do you have any other NXT names, Undisputed Era maybe, kind of them popping up, maybe kind of taking over? I know there's only 5 spots open, but it can always change, it doesn't really matter, I guess.
All 4 of them come out. Maybe Roddy comes out, but then all 4 come out to help.
Roddy was in the was it called the Greatest Royal Rumble or whatever?
I think so.
Him and I think Daniel Bryan chopped the crap out of each other.
They had 50. Oh yeah, he lasted a good long time too. With
I think
Daniel.
he was in there. I want to say Adam Cole actually was in the Rumble last year.
Yes,
I don't want to Google
he was.
After
You're right.
Yeah, I mean it could happen. I'm thinking Matt Riddle. I like the Keith Lee pick. Keith Lee. Can't go wrong with that. And then Velveteen Dream.
Dream.
I mean, those are 3 good names right there, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, any one of those would get huge reactions.
Yeah, and this is why, I mean, the men's Rumble obviously has more announced people right now than the women's Rumble, but this is why the Rumble's so great. You can talk about all these options, and, are some of them going to happen? Some of them
I mean,
will.
that's the
most
beautiful
of them,
thing.
Yeah, most of them, probably not. So
that's why the Royal Rumble is the best event, because, it's not assured what's going to happen. You can tell a story all you want, and you kind of know what's going to happen when you get up to Mania. You kind of got an idea of which way they're leaning. But the Rumble, the Rumble could be anything.
Who knows? And that leads
Are we going to get a Kofi spot this year?
I think so. John Morrison spot.
We got a John Morrison back. I mean, this is going to be pretty crazy.
How about a Ricochet spot? He can fly around.
I mean, he's got the talent. We need another guy to be entertaining.
Here is my segue to number 5. So all this hype about this, it's all for the men's Rumble, because
really
unfortunately the women's Rumble has, I believe, 4, 5, 6 people announced.
Well, I know Sarah Logan's one. Who's your favorite?
Absolutely. So here's my question: is why? I mean, is it just the fact that it's the women's? I don't think so, because they main evented 2 years ago, and last year had the big Becky moment. So I don't think it's that. But why are there only a few people? What's going on here?
Are they maybe concerned that they are burning out the women? Not the women themselves, but in the public's eyes, that we've been pushing them, and they've been forefront for so long that
evented Mania.
Maybe if we step back a little bit, the interest will come back,
swirl up again.
Because I'm super excited to see the women's Royal Rumble. That seemed, the last couple of years, that's kind of been a little more intriguing than the men's, to be honest.
Yeah, I do want to note there was no Evolution pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And there was no Mae Young Classic.
Yeah.
So now here we are with 5 people announced for the Rumble.
We got Charlotte.
Charlotte, I think Natty, Sarah Logan. I'm sure.
Natty? Your friend Natty?
Yeah, I mean, someone's got to be dumped out first.
Somebody's got to follow you on Twitter and be in the Rumble, right?
But someone's got to be eliminated first. So I don't know.
There's your Sarah Logan.
Yeah, you mean Natty. So do you have any theories of why is just maybe kind of toning it back a little bit? They have so many signs. There's a lot.
It's either they're letting them chill out or they're just horrible at their jobs, and we let this one slip.
They had to focus on the Lashley-Lana wedding.
Exactly, which, it wouldn't be the first time that they've let something slip. Just saying.
Oh, boy. So here is my theory. I tweeted it out on Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't even know what day it is. I tweeted it out. Are you ready for my theory, or did you already read it?
Okay. No, I did not.
All right. Here's my theory. The reason the Women's Rumble has not received any build on Raw or SmackDown
is because
the winner
firing all the women. Oh.
No, is because the winner will not be from Raw or SmackDown. So here's my theory. My theory is, why build to something? Why have Charlotte come out every week and proclaim she's going to win when she ain't going to win?
Right.
Why have Sarah Logan, Natalya, Lana, I don't know if she's in it. or anybody talk about the Rumble and winning the title if it ain't going to happen. What's the point? I mean, Sasha winning and facing Bayley, that'd be a thing that they could kind of, explore a little bit, but they haven't touched on any of this stuff.
Right. We
At least
seen
not
Sasha. And...
Yeah. At least not yet. It's Thursday, remember, so there's still Friday Night SmackDown. But anyways, so they've never touched on any of this because it's like, why promote something if it ain't going to happen?
If it ain't going to happen.
Or why get, interest, or why get people buzzing?
Of course, that wouldn't be the first time that they've promoted something and then it didn't happen.
That is true, but this is the Rumble.
Okay.
This is the Rumble. TV show, and
I'll allow that.
Lacey Evans versus Sasha changing 3 weeks in a row. I mean, no big deal. I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
We were going to do that match, but nah.
But Sasha's not here again.
We decided not to.
So that is my theory why they're not, and it kind of makes sense when we get to our predictions, which, if you remember 2 months ago, you had already made your women's prediction. I don't know if you remember.
I don't know.
Oh.
We gotta. Do you remember my women's prediction?
I do.
Oh, well, please enlighten me.
Well, I will get to that in a moment. But number 6.
Yeah.
Which Rumble main events?
Ooh. The men's. Because it's been the most hyped.
I agree. I think it'll be the men's.
I mean, you got your big money draw and Brock Lesnar coming out at number 1. So we're going to make you wait the entire show and watch all of the other matches that... what are the other matches? Anyways.
Daniel Bryan Fiend.
Okay.
Sheamus Shorty G.
Oh?
Yes.
That's a Rumble match?
Yes, it is.
Really?
Lacey Evans versus Bayley for the women.
Okay, that makes sense.
But anyways,
and then Asuka and Becky.
And Asuka and Becky, rematch from last year, actually.
Right.
Obviously, roles reversed a little bit with the title, but I think the men's will main event. I think if you want to hear Cult of Personality, you got to wait till the end of the show.
Absolutely.
It's a joke.
I got it.
But anyways, with the Brock thing, I agree. They're going to hype that up all night. People are going to be taking shots and all that.
He's going to be entering number 1. Number 1. We're going to hear the words number 1.
The number 1 entrant.
Oh, it's just like whenever anybody ever gets injured, Michael Cole has to let you know it was the surgically repaired fill in the joint here.
That is true. I never realized that. You're right.
How many times do we hear surgically repaired knee, surgically repaired neck, surgically repaired shoulder?
I will throw in that I hope during the pay-per-view they go back to the tumbler where they pick the ping pong balls and reveal which number they are. That'd love that
cool.
stuff.
Yeah, I like that. Now, do you want them to do it before they come out, or do you want them to do it like as the show goes on?
Yeah, like a backstage segment after each match.
Yeah,
Lacey and Bayley ends, and then they'll show someone backstage.
Right. Yeah,
twirling.
I dig that. I think that's pretty cool.
I thought that was awesome. Everyone remembers Flair and Eddie when Eddie stole Flair's number and all that. I think those are just funny things like that. The only way the Women's Rumble will main event is if a certain someone comes out, that certain someone that came out 2 years ago at the Rumble. Hence why the women main evented. But again, we'll get to that. Number 7, I have underdog. Basically what that means is, who are you kind of watching? Who's kind of like your favorite? You know he's not going to win.
Yeah.
But
Brock
there's
Lesnar.
he won't win, but,
Oh, is that a spoiler?
It's my spoiler. So anyway.
And what's your spoiler count?
Well, we'll get to that in a little bit.
Okay.
So anyways, who's the guy that you're kind of watching? Even a woman, men's, women's, whatever. I know there's only a few women announced, but who's the guy that you're kind of watching? I have written down Aleister Black. Mm-hmm. You're telling me him kicking guys' heads off and facing Brock Lesnar at Mania? I know he's somewhat new, and that'd be kind of a lot to do.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me the fans wouldn't go nuts for that. And Heyman freaking out and saying this guy's, dangerous and don't mess with this guy.
Right. And if you dig into the podcast way back, I predicted Aleister Black to one day, maybe, be on that phenom level as The Undertaker. Now, since I made that little blip,
I wouldn't call it a blip.
I have heard that Vince is kind of...
Yeah, that's BS.
It could be, it could not be. I mean, he hasn't been in anything really meaningful. The stuff with Buddy Murphy was... I mean, I wasn't all that invested.
Well, this week on Raw, the local talent literally ran at him, and he kicked his head off.
Kicked his head straight off.
And that was the match.
That was beautiful.
I love
Aleister Black, and I would love to agree with you on that.
I will make a quick comparison. Do you remember who won the 2012 Royal Rumble?
2012.
Okay, it was Sheamus.
Yeah.
Sheamus, and he last defeated Jericho at the end.
Okay.
Anyways, Sheamus from late 2011 through early 2012, during the quote-unquote build-up to the Rumble, first of all, he was the first man to announce his entry into the Rumble. I think it was like late November, like December. It was early. He came out after a match, microphone, and says, "I'm declaring," and then he says, "I'm winning," did his pose, whatever. So from late 2011 to early 2012, you know what he did on SmackDown each week?
Fellow. Oh, what?
Nothing. He came out, kicked people's heads off, and did nothing. Aleister Black. He's just kind of in a holding pattern. He's just kind of doing crap. So I'm not saying Black's going to win, but I'm just saying there's precedent. No, I'm not. Definitely not. I'm just saying there's precedent. Sheamus just spent the weeks kicking people's heads off. He was kind of in the middle of a face turn. He had been a heel the past 2 years.
Right.
And kind of just getting people behind him, and then kind of you'd point at the sign or do whatever he did. I don't think there was a sign, but he kind of just let everyone know that here I am. I'm a favorite. And then all of a sudden there he was, came back with the end in Jericho. And then he beat Daniel Bryan in 18 seconds at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that was good.
With the bro kick.
With the bro kick.
So it's like for those 4, 5, 6 months, they were kind of setting it up.
Which, let that be a lesson to you kids. Don't kiss your girlfriend after the bell has rung.
What a great move that was. In the opener, too.
Yeah, opening match, 18 seconds, done.
Done.
No more.
See ya. So there is a little precedent. So before...
A couple years later... wrestling twice at WrestleMania, winning the whole darn thing.
Exactly. So before Monday Night Raw, I was also going to say Ricochet.
Yeah.
But now that he's had the showdown with Brock, I don't know if that helps his chances or hurts his chances. Because
it almost kind of spoils their wow factor of seeing them in the ring together.
It spoils that he might be number 2. I think they're going to have a moment. I don't know why they would, have that on Raw if they're not going to at some point meet up. But this time I think Ricochet's obviously going to fight back and do some twirly, twisty move on.
And then get pushed out as he's in midair.
And then get shoved out.
Ouch.
But before then, I was going to say Ricochet. Now I'm kind of leaning towards Aleister Black. So I don't know if you have any other names. Maybe there's kind of a middle of the card, maybe a Rusev that maybe you want to, or Lashley, somebody that...
Elias.
Elias, yes.
Elias.
And I will quick note that Elias, in one of his recent songs, talked about the Rumble. And you know what he did during it? He took a shot at Brock Lesnar. So you talk about showdowns with Brock. Elias might need to watch out about that.
Definitely not going to win, but it'd definitely be interesting to see.
You mentioned Elias. What if Shane McMahon returned at the best in the... No?
I will...
It's been a while.
Yeah, but he's not a talent.
I will throw out another name.
He's not a credible talent.
Credible talent. Okay. I will say incredible. But anyways.
Ooh, I got one. Okay.
Kevin Owens.
Ooh, I like
Kevin Owens, everyday man, blah, blah, blah. People behind him facing Brock Lesnar.
Ooh, Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe's another one. I don't know if Joe's going to get another main event shot, but I would almost say Kevin Owens. They're kind of, again, holding him a little bit with this Rollins thing, AOP.
Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode?
Bobby Roode.
Maybe. That'd be an interesting one.
That would be. I mean, that's never been seen.
No, not at all. I mean, The Fiend as champion for SmackDown makes things a little bit more interesting.
Do we want a glorious WrestleMania or not?
I think we're going to get a glorious WrestleMania anyways. I don't know if Bobby Roode's going to have anything to do with it, though. That's just my opinion. I don't know.
You know what? You know why it's going to be glorious?
Why?
Because we'll be basking in his glory.
At WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Ooh, against Brock?
Because he's going to win.
That is true, according to CM Punk. So number 8 I have, back to the Women's Rumble. All right, we're almost running out of topics here.
Oh, boy.
Number 8, I have Ronda Rousey or Shayna Baszler.
Ooh. I think Ronda is plan A, and Shayna is what they go to when they can't get the money or the timing, or Ronda says, oh, yeah, I'm pregnant.
What did I forget to tell you guys? So anyways, like Edge, CM Punk, these are two names that have been thrown out there, and I believe a couple betting sites overseas. Those two are the favorites. Yeah. Nobody even in the company, nobody even on. It's
to win the Rumble or to come back?
To win the Rumble.
Okay.
Those are the two heavy favorites right now.
Right.
Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out Ronda versus Becky Lynch, Shayna versus Becky Lynch.
Right.
That would be the obvious. As of the current people, the only one really I could see is Sasha. And then she faces Bayley. But,
yeah.
I mean, are they going to do that? I don't really think so. Is Sasha have that in her contract that she's back and win the Rumble?
That too? Just give her everything.
Give her everything. Even Kalisto, a new car. First class, everything. But anyways.
Ford GT.
So, right. Yeah, good one. So 2 months ago, you said you didn't remember your pick.
Correct.
You had Ronda Rousey.
Did I?
And so did I.
Okay.
Okay. Because
I mean that makes sense for that kind of story. And like I said, like if they can get the logistics together, that'd be their plan A, because that's a big sell. Everybody's gonna, and then that will headline the whole damn show.
Oh yeah, definitely would. And then that would make, last year's women's main event like, oh, it wasn't a fluke, like we didn't just give them 1 year.
Exactly.
Here they are again, main eventing, and regardless of whatever Lesnar's doing or not, I would think Ronda Rousey coming back to face Becky finally, I would think that gets the main event shot. I don't know if Shayna...
Absolutely. It needs to happen.
Yeah, Shayna and Becky, I don't think so.
That's not a main event spot. I mean, they're great talents, don't get me wrong. They are going to put on an awesome match if that tends... So, okay, I'm pushing, and I want the Ronda Rousey one to happen, but to me, it's almost more likely that it's going to be Shayna.
It's tough because Shayna... not too much of a spoiler, but, she lost the NXT title, but, she's been hanging around.
She's definitely going to be in the Rumble. And like I said, if they can't get the Ronda logistics, she's winning. That's what I see.
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of still waiting on Ronda until she makes that pregnancy announcement.
Yep.
The chance is there. The opportunity's there. We know she wants to come back. Yeah. Everyone in the company, her, has kind of already said, like, yeah, she'll be back. It's just a matter of when.
She made great impressions on everybody her last run. She took to the training really well. She took to the sport of it really well.
Full-time schedule.
Yep. She was full-time right up through Mania, and you could see, even in her, like, in-ring work, you could see her getting better and better and more comfortable out there and letting a little bit of her edge show, when she was doing promos and stuff. She's not the greatest promo, but she was getting better.
Yeah, if she was showing her heel side.
Yeah. And
kind of letting it loose a little bit.
Right.
If Ronda's available, I mean, it's pretty obvious there. But Shayna, and then if you want to even do something with Shayna and Ronda, I don't know, the 4 Horsewomen type deal.
That'd be cool, but I think we're not in any stage to do the 4 Horsewomen thing yet.
No, I don't think they're like even close to setting that up with how everyone's kind of scattered.
Everybody's scattered, and I haven't seen Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir without Shayna.
Yeah,
like they can't handle something on their own.
Not sure those two are ready to go yet.
Yeah, I don't even think I've seen them work, to be honest.
They've been in a few tags, but there's a reason why they're playing the Stooges role right now.
Right.
There's a reason why that they're not in Shayna's spot.
Yeah.
She's a million times better. So that leads us to number 9.
Train number 9.
And number 9 is pretty obvious. Mm-hmm. Who will win the Women's Royal Rumble match?
I think I've said it.
Really?
Yep. If Ronda and they can work out everything and the logistics and all that, it's going to be Ronda. If they can't, the plan B, Shayna. Because, we've already had a couple of showdowns with Becky and Shayna. There's that Survivor Series.
Yes, same with Ronda. They did not have the one-on-one match.
Right.
We're still kind of holding out on that.
And it's coming. It
should be.
At some point, it's going to happen.
So of the announced women, again, I don't even know who it is. It's like 4 or 5 people. Charlotte's kind of been the one kind of focused on a little bit.
Yeah.
I think we're agreeing she's not going to win.
I think that's just an attention getter. Like,
I think
the queen is in,
I do agree with recent criticism, though, on Charlotte that she needs something to do.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, people ripped on her for being in the main event last year and kind of shoehorned in and all that stuff. But, she's a top talent, and she should be focused on.
Absolutely.
So her coming out each week or doing this Sarah Logan feud or whatever, I mean, she should be doing more. I wonder if they're biding time for her or if something's going on. I don't know. I don't want her and Andrade to be together. I don't want anything to do with that. I don't know if they're even setting that up, but want nothing to do with that. Zelina's great with Andrade, so don't mess that up.
Right, I agree that, yeah.
But of the group announced, I mean, Natalia's not going to win.
Nope.
And what?
You're just so downtrodden on her.
She's not going to win.
She went through the trouble of following you on Twitter, and she's not going to win. She's
trouble.
Done. Yeah, trouble.
All right.
Have you followed yourself on Twitter? It's trouble.
I have not followed myself. That would be trouble.
Yeah.
There's a certain Naomi that may pop up. There's a certain.
Oh, I suppose those legal issues are done.
There's a certain Nia Jax who's due soon.
Yeah, she's been off TV for a while.
But those aren't winners, are they? They just feel like surprise entrants, right?
Nia could be. I think Nia's got.
My gosh.
She's got the imposing stature that would be like, oh.
Okay, if you think I'm down on Natalya.
I know, you hate Nia too. You hate everything that's good.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Since when are Nia good?
I know it's hard for you to hear these kinds of things.
Nia's
but
good?
You really are kind of a, yeah.
Nia's good?
Better than
Natalya? Yeah, you're probably right about that.
Oh, dude, you are just trashing your followers today, man.
You're the one praising Nia Jax. All right, so I will agree with that. I don't think, of course, then there's always a legend possibility.
What do you got against Nia Jax? Did she wrong you personally?
I don't think the legends. I don't think Trish is coming back.
That's not a no.
I do believe she. I do believe she finished up at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Mickie James is still nursing an injury. She's been doing commentary, helping out backstage.
Is she still around?
Mickie James is awesome. So Mickie James,
whoa,
she's a name.
Whoa.
She's awesome. What?
So you'll trash talk Nia Jax to no
I didn't say
end.
anything bad about Nia Jax.
What?
So
Okay.
Mickie James.
Wow, that just spiked a little bit. I'm gonna have to adjust that and.
Yeah, I think my drink is spiked. So, anyways, I think Nia Jax can come back and all that. Mickie James, I mean, her returning, going to the Rumble, winning Mania. I mean, it'd be fine, but I don't think it'll happen. I'd be loving it. I'd be cheering it, but let's be honest.
That's basically we're throwing the random generator to create WrestleMania.
Yeah, against Mickie versus Becky, Mickie versus Bailey.
Be better off gonna create a wrestler, man.
The default. I mean, there's always, I guess, Lacey Evans after she loses to Bailey. Well, actually, Lacey might win on Sunday. Just a heads up. But anyways, I don't know. The women's thing is so wide open, and that it goes back to my theory is that the winner can't be from Raw or SmackDown.
It's kind of cool that they haven't hyped it up as much because it's just more mystery.
Because all right, this brings up another topic, another tangent. Sure, why not? Do you like it more that the men's has 25 and there's only going to be 5? Or do you like it more that there's only 5 announced for the women and the field's wide open with 25 more people? Or is there a middle ground?
I like them both, to be honest.
I think like 15 to 20 is a good spot. And then you got to have a lot of spots open for the Rumble. That's part of the fun.
Right. The 5 open means that the returns are going to, or the mystery is going to be even sweeter. But the fact that there's so many unknowns with the women, that's even cooler too, because it's like, who is it? We don't even know. They haven't announced anybody. It could be anybody. I mean, Mercedes Martinez just returned from
I was going to
NXT.
say, they got to start dipping into the NXT a lot more.
Oh, you know they're going to.
I think Chelsea Green is another one.
Rhea Ripley
was
up.
in last year.
Yeah.
Kyrie Zane.
Was awesome.
Asuka, after she loses to Becky, she could pop up, and yes, Asuka will lose to and yes, Asuka she'll revenge her. By the way, did you notice Becky keeps saying her one debt to collect?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The one debt to collect is one-on-one with Ronda Rousey.
No, because she never got beaten by Rousey.
Yeah, but I don't care about that.
That's the debt.
No,
the debt is matches that she lost.
I understand that. Asuka has her number and keeps beating her. I get it. But here's the thing. I can see Monday night Becky coming out and say, I've beaten everyone. I had my last debt to collect. And then bad reputation hits.
I don't know. She pinned Rousey.
She did, but it was not one-on-one. I know it's a little gray area there, but I'm just saying, every time she says that, in my head I'm thinking, Ronda's at home stewing like she's on her way back for Becky. And it'd be cool because then she'd be champ Mania to Mania. So I just think that'd be cool. But anyways, so back to the pick. You're going with Ronda or Shayna, correct?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, I think, see, I keep trying to think of somebody.
Yeah.
Nobody's coming up. Even an NXT call-up.
Catalina.
Hey, Casey Cat.
Yeah, Casey Catanzaro.
She was in the Rumble last year, I believe, or 2 years ago.
I thought that like her back was beyond repair.
Yeah, it was that, and then she talked about how she didn't come from this background, so it was easier for her to walk away versus somebody like tied in like the family and grew up watching it and stuff. She didn't have that, so she stepped away. But then she said she missed it too much and realized that was her family.
It was funny because, I was on Twitter and she comes back and then shortly after NXT ends, she goes, "Oh, hey, I'm back on Twitter." I'm like, oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, hey, I'm back. And I think Ricochet had said that, he was feeling more nervous than probably she was.
Oh, I believe it. I mean,
and that's just kind of part of the deal when you're together with someone. Oh, ain't that sweet. So we're going to go with Ronda or Shayna. And if anyone wants to somehow convince me that anyone else is going to win, I'm all ears because I can't think of a name. And if you have a scenario for me, I would love to hear it. I'm sure it'd be amazing. But that leads us to number 10. I'm sure you can assume what the question is. Who will win the men's Royal Rumble?
Yep. Who do I want to win or who will win?
We can do both.
Okay.
Who do you want? Who in your dream? Brock Lesnar's champion. You can't change that.
Let me reflect on the year here.
Well, okay. I will quick say Daniel Bryan is facing The Fiend, so if you wanted to pick one of them to lose and then show up later on, that'd be fine.
You know, I'm kind of digging the Aleister Black idea. I'm gonna go. I want to win is Aleister Black
Against Brock Lesnar.
Who's gonna win? Brock Lesnar.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Foregone conclusion, man.
Foregone conclusion.
Yeah. We've already got our spoiler.
Like SmackDown had 2.6 million viewers 3 weeks in a row that you said below 2 million. But anyways, so I think Brock.
Clock.
I think Brock is not going to win. We talked about that earlier.
Yep.
And right when it was announced, again, my first thought was who's going to throw him over? He's not winning. And I don't care about the spoiler part.
Andre. We need Andre back, man.
Andre. Is that your pick?
Yeah, totally.
Mark it down. All right, well, Brock's not going to win.
And then he's going to give it to $1 Million Man.
But Aleister Black eliminating Brock could then set up Aleister Black versus Brock, whether Aleister Black went on to win or not. I think whoever has that moment with Brock is going to be his main.
So really, for the first time since 93, well, I suppose you could say 92, but they didn't specify that in 92. The winner of the Rumble doesn't necessarily get a title shot.
Well, 2016 had Roman Reigns defending the title. Triple H won the title, so
Right.
I guess if you want to include that, I don't know. I mean, Vince McMahon won it in 1999. I know it was for the title shot. But,
Yeah.
You know, there's always ways around it, but
Okay.
I mean, that's an interesting point, and I will quick throw out there that Brock is not going to win, but 2 months ago, do you remember who you picked?
AJ and Roman.
Yes, and I made the joke that we had the double R's, Ronda Rousey, Roman Reigns.
Right, yeah.
So do you still feel Roman Reigns? I know he has the match with Corbin, Falls Count Anywhere, but you got to remember 2003, Brock fought Big Show earlier in the show.
Right.
So guys having matches early in the show doesn't
matter anymore.
Especially if Roman Reigns wins, stands tall, and then literally says, "I'm done with you. Time for the next chapter."
Right.
But here's an interesting theory. Corbin shocked everybody and won last month. Do you remember this? TLC?
I do.
How about Reigns wins? I'm assuming Reigns is going to win and this feud's over, dog food, whatever crap they're doing.
Yeah.
But how about then Corbin and Rude and Ziggler and his cronies jump Reigns, and then he's a battered man, and then he really overcomes the odds, and then he comes out limping, and everyone's like, he has no shot.
Right.
And then he comes down to Brock, his
biggest nemesis,
his big giant to slay, and then eliminates him last to win.
I could see it.
And then faces the Fiend.
Yeah, there it is.
And then we get Reigns and Fiend with 20 spears, and Fiend just sits up every time and does nothing at Mania.
Good Lord, you make a lot of sense. I'm just putting all this together now.
Me?
Yeah.
Makes sense? Okay. Well.
Huh.
Okay, well.
Well, just like based on stuff that I read and whatnot, wow.
Wow, okay.
We'll have to look at that.
Okay, sure. Look at whatever you want. So, my men's Royal Rumble pick.
Okay.
I have no idea. I like the Roman Reigns. He's going to face the Fiend. It would make sense. The leukemia.
Right.
Like we've talked about. He's stayed out of the picture. All right. He's done the Corbin feud.
Right.
Reigns has not been near anybody.
He's not booed nearly as hard.
He's not booed. I mean, it's against Corbin. Let's be honest here.
Yeah,
so nobody's going to cheer Corbin. But anyways, he stayed out of the title picture. He let Rollins have his moment on Raw. He let him have the long title reign.
Let Dean Moxley have his thing.
Dean Moxley. And then
John Ambrose?
I actually like that name. But then he went over to SmackDown and let Kofi have his 6-month title reign.
Right.
Didn't get involved. I don't even think they even have a match.
I don't even think they looked at each other.
Did they tag once or twice? I don't know. But he stayed out of it. He had a feud with the Stud. I mean, they did their thing.
Use his name, dude. Come on.
I mean, Reigns
I feel like we need to put him out to pasture.
I thought you said he was a horse. So Reigns,
exactly.
Reigns even had a little thing with Shane McMahon for a while. Remember when Undertaker came out?
Yes.
I mean, Reigns has kind of done everything but go for the title.
Right.
And The Fiend, after I assume he beats Daniel Bryan, I mean, I wouldn't be against Daniel Bryan winning, but after I assume he beats him in the strap match or something, I think it's a strap match now.
Is that what it is now?
Yeah, they changed it for something. Because apparently Bryan says every time I get near The Fiend, he runs, so I want to strap together. But I think it was only 1 week where Fiend ran. Every other week, Fiend's demolished.
It killed him, yeah.
So I don't know where that came from, but...
Took his hair.
Yes, he did. And did you see that story that Bryan told?
I saw the headline. I was going to click on it, but I had to get back to work.
Apparently they had a barber under the ring at the time.
Really?
And we're like quickly shaving him as it's like the most uncomfortable. They're in this little box.
Yeah.
And he's just like, so then they did it. And the original plan was just a little bit. He was just going to get a little haircut. But then they kept saying, we need more hair. We need more hair. And then by the end, like they tried to fix it and stuff. But he's just like, just buzz it. Just get rid of it.
And Bree was apparently angry about it.
Who cares about Bree?
Ouch, man.
I mean about the story. About the story. We love Birdie and Bree and Nikki. And Nikki's engaged, by the way.
I read that. And
Yeah.
Cena is like,
Yeah.
Sure you are.
Yeah, I got another movie coming out. Great. Congrats. So.
I'm going to take my millions and cry into them.
Right, exactly. So I don't think Daniel Bryan will lose and enter the Rumble. I like to see Daniel Bryan go to NXT, honestly. But that's up to him. He seems to kind of be doing what he wants. He was talking about his new shirts are going to be eco-friendly, made of recycled material.
Oh, of course.
And then he says, like, if you buy one, like a tree will be planted or something somewhere. I think he said that's why there's been a delay in new Yes merchandise, because they're setting up the
eco-friendly
fund or
super duper.
Yeah.
Save the earth.
So I mentioned this.
Call Greta.
I mentioned this 2 months ago, but for people that are going to say, oh, Roman Reigns again.
Right.
He hasn't won.
That was my first thought.
He hasn't won in 5 years. It was 2015.
Yeah.
Okay, that's when the whole backlash thing started, with that whole mess with Brock. And then Rollins ended up winning the title anyways.
Yeah.
Reigns had to actually wait until Survivor Series later that year, only because Rollins got hurt.
Right.
And then Reigns stepped in, Sheamus cashed in, they had their little feud, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter.
5 minutes, 15 seconds.
Wasn't it 3 minutes? Or was it 5?
It
It might have been 5. I think it's
it was
5.
5.
It was like 5:18.
Yeah, that sounds
5.
about right.
How do we remember this?
5:18 says I just beat you for your title.
So for people that are going to say Reigns again, it's been 5 years.
Right.
I mean, if you look at the
time.
I think it's time. I mean, Cena's won the Rumble twice. Triple H has won it twice. Batista's won it twice. Stone Cold, I think, 3.
Yep, he's
Hogan
got the most.
twice. I want to say Shawn Michaels twice. Yes.
Back to back.
I mean, these guys win it multiple times, and like it or not, Reigns is the top guy. So if anybody right now, I would say Reigns. But if we are going for a few surprises, I mean, I think the 2 names right now are Edge and CM Punk.
Yeah.
Everything I've gotten, which I mentioned earlier, was Edge is not returning. But too many sources, too many smoke where there's fire, that kind of thing. Everyone else says no.
Who wants to smoke?
By the way,
Profits.
the Street Profits in those backstage segments, garbage.
They got to stop, yeah.
Get them back in the ring. I mentioned that months ago.
They're so much better in the ring.
So much better. So my end is Edge is not returning, but everyone else is saying, yeah, he's in talks. He signed a new contract, everything. So I would say go with them, and what do I know? So if everyone else is saying it's happening, then sure, I guess it's happening. CM Punk, not a clue. And I got this comment on Twitter, so I will quick shout out Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Mike asked point blank, will Punk be in the Rumble? You say no?
I don't think so.
Okay, so if anyone is going to return, and if it's going to happen, as we mentioned, I think they have to win. I know you kind of disagree, but Punk's not coming out to be dumped by whoever. He's coming out to win and face Brock in the main event.
Yeah, he's not going to be dumped out by whoever. He's going to be dumped out by Brock Lesnar.
I feel a bet coming on, by the way.
No, I got no money.
And back to those, if not Reigns for the SmackDown side, because then Raw can have the Becky and, Ronda or Shayna.
Right.
So
Yep.
both sides will have their thing.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. But if not for CM Punk or Edge, the other 3 names there's a certain Cain Velasquez everyone thinks is going to show up. I hope not.
Yeah, I don't foresee that happening.
And then there's the Aleister Black, not bad. I mean, he's probably not going to win, let's be honest.
Right.
But that'd be pretty cool. And then there's another somebody. Somebody who's been getting a little bit more of a crowd reaction recently. Somebody who's been turning face, who would match up well with the heel Brock Lesnar. And somebody who's been battling the Viper Randy Orton.
Oh, don't say it. Don't say it.
What?
Just say his name. Just don't.
AJ Styles?
Oh.
What'd you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say Drew McIntyre.
I wasn't. I was going to say the stud. All right.
Why?
So here we go.
Where did that even...
All right. So you ready for this?
So basically you want to put Drew McIntyre in a room with a bunch of ladies and hope little Drew McIntyres come out so that you can sell them off and hopefully they'll win the Kentucky Derby for you?
I don't even know what that means.
That's what a stud is.
I understand that, but he's not a stud. He's the stud. So anyways, you're telling me Drew McIntyre, that's his name.
Have you seen what they sell that horse stuff for? It is crazy expensive.
You're talking a lot of horse something right now. So anyways, Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. What do you think?
The match doesn't intrigue me at all.
He's the chosen one.
He was, and then he got released.
But he had to be released in order to do this, I think.
In theory.
I mean, Jinder Mahal's a former WWE champion. What are we talking about here? And
By
by the way,
we're still talking
by
about
the way,
2020.
By the way,
yeah, he's rumored to return.
Get
too.
ready for Jinder Mahal to come back.
Why?
I don't mind him if he's U.S. champ, Intercontinental.
Right.
Or 24/7 on a plane, or
that'd be cool.
with R-Truth running around. I don't mind him. Obviously, it was the main event championship thing that they decided to do, but I don't mind Jinder Mahal.
And they gave him number 50. He was the 50th guy. Like, of all people that could be number 50.
I think Orton lost him 3 straight pay-per-views.
Jinder Mahal. Yeah.
Like, talk about a bonus. Even Greg Khali showed up for
Randy's like, I just don't get paid enough for this crap.
But he won the Rumble that year and won the title in Mania.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get to the peak, there's only one way to go down from there.
Yeah,
and I guess it was Jinder Mahal. Actually, he had the House of Horrors match against Bray first.
Yeah.
And he lost that.
Yeah.
Because Jinder came out and attacked him in the ring when they finally got to the ring after the house spooky.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're on a wild tangent.
With a can full of gas and a handful of matches.
And that was on pay-per-view, too.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, those are our picks. That is the Royal Rumble.
That's the Rumble, man.
That is what we're so excited for. What do you think?
It's going to be a good Rumble. I'm starting, now that we've talked about it a little bit, I'm starting to get a little more excited. There's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of stories that could or could not be told, or
a lot of possibilities.
Started or ended. But, yeah, it's going to be a good show. Again, I think the men are going to be the headline. They're going to be the last one.
Yes.
And then, let's headlong into WrestleMania season.
And then the road begins. All right. So
road to Tampa Bay.
We are going to now.
Are you going? I know you had mentioned it. You went to Orlando.
As of now, no.
No.
But I will say let's wait till next year's announcement, which is probably in a few weeks.
Are you gonna have the full body WWE suit if you go again?
Oh boy. Don't say that. People are going to Google my name. But anyways, let me
Google his name. Google it. At Watry.
It is garbage. So anyways, here are my plugs as usual.
Yeah.
411 Foresight Wrestling Podcast. You know you're already listening to that. Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, Google Play, all those things that I can never remember. You know where to find us. 411mania.com is the website. My recent columns include a recap of 2019, all the bold predictions from that year. And then 2020, a bunch of my bold predictions I think that are going to happen throughout this year. So what do I think about it? You got to go to 411mania.com for that. And, of course, Twitter, you know where to find me, at Justin Watry. And Steve?
Hey. Hi.
What you got?
Oh, we have the Resonant Complex. Yes, I'm still pushing that debut album. Been doing it for a year, and I'm going to keep pushing it. It is available on all digital platforms, iTunes, anywhere digital music is sold. You can also stream it on Spotify. You can catch up some videos on YouTube. And if I do have some physical copies available on cdbaby.com, just search the Resonant Complex.
Absolutely. And before the Royal Rumble, how about you listen to the Resonant Complex right now?
I can't sleep tonight. The clock mocks me as I try. I don't know why after all these years it still comes back to you. Oh, and everything I put you through. Darkness surrounds me as I close my eyes, and now I'm drowning in every tear you cried. Go on.